At the start of the week, I created some affirmations for myself, and that's great. And I've felt into those affirmations, and I've put a lot of feeling and emotion into those. Um, yeah, I've really, they feel really good. And one of the things that I've noticed about affirmations is that they feel good to start off with, but during the process of what happens in your life, during your everyday stuff, they can sometimes, and often they do, tend to bring out the worst in what's happening in your life. And that can be disconcerting for somebody who doesn't know why that is. So the reason for that happening is because you have certain habits in place, habits of being, and those habits of being are there to keep you safe generally. And they're something that you already know as well. So you want to be, if you're not aware that there's something you already know, that you're afraid in a sense that there's a fear of approaching anything that is different. And your affirmations are you affirming to yourself that you are approaching things in a different way. And that, in a sense, is threatening, because what you've always known is what you tend to stick with because you know it and it doesn't change and it makes you feel safe. It might not be satisfying and it might not be what you want necessarily, but nevertheless you feel safe. So your affirmations take you outside of that safety, or that wall of safety, and then they put you in a place where you're not really sure where you are. And then you have to deal with things in life that you don't necessarily want to deal with. So in a sense, they don't create a negative environment. What they do is they aggravate an already negative environment, and they agitate things so that you are experiencing things on a more intense level because you're asking for something different. And so that's kind of interesting to me to think of that in that way. But it's also, with the affirmations and the negativity, what the negativity is doing is it's giving you an opportunity to overcome all of those things that you've always been afraid to overcome, let's say. Sorry, just not my... So it's giving you an opportunity to overcome all of those negative things in your life. But the trouble is they all come up at the same time. And then you end up with a whole heap of stuff and become overwhelmed by it and don't know what to do with it. And so what do you do with that? What do you do with that situation? Well, you can't really tackle it all at the same time. But you can take little bits from that particular situation and maybe you can figure them out. But also, you can also be there with the mess of what's happening, right? If you're aware enough of what is going on, and again, we're not always completely aware of what's going on in our lives, so that can also be difficult. But you get to practice awareness. You get to practice a lot of these things as you go through it, and you get to be able to sort of step back in little bits. Right, well, this doesn't work. Well, that doesn't work. And sometimes that can feel unsatisfying because you think, well, I just want to get over this problem. I want to be over this and get to where I want to be. I want this positive thing to happen in my life, and I don't want to have to deal with all this crap that's coming up. But the truth of the matter is that progress sometimes is a lot slower than we want it to be. So you have to stick at it in a sense. That's part of the process of life, you're dealing with problems, and then you have to become effective at dealing with problems. And the only way to become effective at dealing with problems and issues is by being willing to face the difficulties that come up in your life, and then in a sense kind of masterminding what you're going to do next, being ready for that failure, knowing that's going to come up, and then having awareness and acceptance around that. So yeah, so that's what's been going on in my head for most of the week. And you know, I'll be honest, I'm not totally comfortable with, no one's ever totally comfortable with failure. I'm not comfortable with failure. I hate it. It frustrates me. I feel terrible, and that's not somewhere that I want to be. But it's somewhere that I have to be willing to be in order to move forward in my life. And you know, I kind of now realize that. So I hope that's of some use to you guys. Again, this week's been quite a tough week with regards to feeling tired and stuff, and my thoughts on a lot of things haven't been all that clear. But you know, it's just, you have to roll with the punches, I think, and that's what I have to do. So take it easy, guys, and I will speak to you very soon. As I get better at doing these videos, as my clarity becomes clearer, you know, the videos will become more structured, probably less in length. But again, the whole reason for this channel is, and the videos on it are a reflection of my complete journey, not just some perfect video out there which is doing something. So yeah, take it easy, guys. I'll speak to you very soon.